You can't eliminate me, I quit. I'm Anna Rumor with Pop Culture.
And I'm Nick Valdez from comicbook.com.
And this is Dragged, where we offer our unfiltered opinion about RuPaul's Drag Race, All Stars 8, with no tears shed. Nick, we're going in on a very eloquent episode 7 of All Stars 8. We've got an improv challenge that really dove into some Ru crime and the importance of soft tacos in all of our lives. What did you think about the episode?
Oh, it was such an elegant episode. I am just feeling the elegance.
So let's go in with the Kahana drama. Basically, we get announced this week that we're going in on an improv challenge, and you can see the light behind her eyes die as she realizes, you know what, this is probably the week that I'm gonna go home, because everyone else is pretty good at acting here. And so she tries to quit, and we get this like mini intervention from RuPaul.
Wow. RuPaul having to come out and get the girls together, like, come on. Like, great TV for me, of course, right? Like, we were loving it, but just, you know, you're at All Stars. This is what you signed up for. And, yes. You know, RuPaul needed to come out and say, hey, what are you doing? This is... play the game you're here for. In a way, it worked out because Kahana did do better in the challenge than I was ever expecting. Just wild that we had to get to that point in the first place.
It is wild because it's like, wow, this is one of the biggest moments of your career and you kind of know that you're probably going home at the end of it. So you just quit. That's not how game shows work. And this is at its heart a game show. So what are we doing here? I'm all about mental health and that kind of thing, but this one for me felt very, you know, you can't fire me, I quit. Let's dive into the challenge. She played I'm a Fox, and I thought she did fine.
Yeah, like, there was nothing particularly off about it. Unfortunately, she did suffer from the same issues that she's had with other acting challenges, in that there's some kind of block that's keeping her from, like, fully committing to whatever wild character she has.
Yeah.
And, you know, but here, it felt the best that she's been in the show.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. I did really like it. I like this whole forensic crime show thing that they had in general. I really liked everybody in it. I'll just say that straight out.
Yeah, I agree. No one did badly. And she had some really funny lines. What was the one? I was a bee, but 10 years later, I'm a bigger bee. That's so funny. I thought she was doing well. And again, you know, she's up against a bunch of queens who are really talented at acting, so it did make her look a little bit diminished in comparison, but I thought she did better than some people on the list that we will get to, whose names rhyme with Mandy Hughes.
But first, we gotta talk about Jessica Wilde. She played You're Drag, which was the Miss Congeniality of the season, and, you know, her performance was a lot different than you'd expect because she's playing it straight. She's got like this deadpan thing going, and I loved it. I was absolutely dying.
I have to admit, you know, watching this the first time and, you know, taking notes and like kind of looking for jokes, maybe not letting it wash over me so organically, I was like, oh, she's doing okay, but she's not like really standing out. But then upon second, third, fourth, whatever watch of the challenge, that's when it hit me. The genius, the ETB card, the soft tacos, the guacamole. It was so funny, and I really can't describe what she was even doing, but it was just, she's so charismatic. She can just stand there and talk about nothing, and it's so funny.
That's what it is. She's literally just talking about just food orders, and like, you know, she even wraps up her story with the fact that she can afford that extra guacamole from now on, and for some reason that line in particular just had me. I you know, maybe it's because I love Jessica, maybe it's just like, but it just felt so good in the moment, you know.
She ended up being my third favorite in the challenge at the end of it all, and that's a high third. So, you know, I apologize, Jessica. You're brilliant. It's me who's the problem.
I can tell you who wasn't a problem was Lala Ree.
My first favorite, yes.
Yes. She played a Sharisha with the Shah is silent, you know, and as the security guard, she knew what she had to do. I think from the beginning of like picking the parts, she saw the vision and carried it out, and everything she did, I was completely floored. The golf cart, the voicemail she left, her mug shots, absolutely dominated this entire thing. Like, I think she had the most screen time, of course, but the elegance, it's just elegant.
The fact that she took basically, what was it? It was like a 2-sentence description and it said elegant in it, and she turned that into a fully fledged character. We know the security guard. We love the security guard. And she just chewed up the scenery. Like, no wonder she had the most screen time. She was so funny. And one thing I do love about Lala, I know we've been given a little bit of a hard time to her in the past couple challenges, but she is never afraid to just play silly, which I really like, because some of them hold back from the pure silliness, but she really leans in, and I do enjoy that a lot.
Yeah, which is a shame, right? Because we just came from Snatch Game, and it's like, where was this energy at? But you know what? I guess, she was waiting for the right opportunity, and it just all came together with this. And because of her, we get that reenactment where RuPaul got to get it on the fun with destroying little pound cake, and oh my god, what fun! I was in 100%.
I love when Ru comes into play.
She does much better than, what did you say, Mandy 𝐶𝐻𝐿?
Mandy 𝐶𝐻𝐿. She fought for this 𝐒𝐴𝐻𝐿 character, and she didn't really do anything with it. She did the same old thing where she used Kandy Muse in a different situation.
Yeah, that lollipop had more star quality than Kandy this time around.
True.
I do feel bad saying that, but, I love Kandy Muse. I will go to bat for her every week. You've heard me here going to bat for her every week.
Oh, yeah.
But
she's a star.
After we've had so many acting challenges in a row, we've seen so much of the same Kandy. It's like, okay, it's not tired, but okay. It's just, you really should have tried something else. Especially when you have Jimbo, who, as 𝐒𝐴 Dents, the forensic scientist. So, okay.
I know what you're gonna say. I'm so mad at you already. Go for it.
I was not feeling it. It was, I'm not a big fan of gross out humor. Gross out humor just really turns me off immediately. So that is a personal thing. I will say that straight out. And of course the stink finger. Funny idea, but it's the detail of it that was like, all right, that turned me off. I was done. I was out. She looked cute though. That's the other thing. She looked great, but I was out immediately.
I know that you don't like gross out humor, and so I kind of thought that you weren't gonna like her, and that already made me pre-upset because this killed me. This was so funny. I do like gross out humor, I'm disgusting, so but this was so funny to me. The stink finger, the very pretty accurate German accent, the big wig. She was so funny. She was my second favorite performance. Jimbo just transforms into a different character every time we see her. It's so impressive, and she's just funny. I wasn't shocked she did well, but I did love 𝐒𝐴 Dents.
I will give her credit. These acting challenges, she kills it. When compared to Mandy 𝐶𝐻𝐿? When you compare it to Mandy 𝐶𝐻𝐿, it doesn't really. Jimbo's obviously going for it, and it's that full commitment I appreciate. But I will say I'm glad Lala kind of exploded, in this time, because otherwise, if Jimbo would have won off of this, I would have been a little tight about it, just it was
I
that
agree.
finger.
She wasn't the best. So and also we need a little variety before Jimbo maybe inevitably wins. Last up that we have Alexis as the DA. What was the DA's name? I didn't catch it. It didn't really matter because she was funny, but we didn't get a ton of her. It was kind of a bummer.
Yeah, she was in there for 2 seconds, and the straightforward character, she came to play, and when she was finally on screen, I immediately got what she was going for in these these true crime things, as the point of authority, and she looked like it too, which was the super funniest thing. The whole Gloria Steinem look, or everything.
So funny.
Yeah, it immediately clicked, but the thing with that is that you need to see more of them. like, as the point of authority usually only works if we see them throughout the entire true crime documentary. You know,
Yeah.
so the perspective we got mostly was Mandy Q's the whole time. It was, you know, Alexis did great, but also we just didn't see enough of it for the character to really sing.
What killed me is she did the best impression of true crime. This was dead on. Like you said,
Yes.
She looked the part, she sounded the part, but she just was not being like super funny about it. If we were trying to actually put together a serious true crime thing, she would have fit in perfectly. I know this character, but she needed to take it up a level because we were trying to be funny, you know?
Yeah, especially when she knows how little screen time she has. And so I get why she was like fighting for Anita Clue now.
Yeah.
But ultimately, like, she kind of was stuck with this, and she did flounder as a result.
Also, just a side note, Team Candy with that argument. If the characters are so similar, why do you need this one? That was a tired argument from you, Alexis. You could do better.
Yeah, Alexis really tried to play her with that. But Candy,
Yeah.
look, Candy's also playing this game. Come on. Like, we
yeah.
know what's... Yeah. Candy spotted that from 100 miles away. She knew.
She goes, I'm not dumb. I'm taking this character and I'm gonna do nothing with it. Let's move on to the runway, which was a really, really fun prompt. Miss fill in the blank. They come out in whatever kind of Miss sash they want, and Jessica comes out as Miss Sausage Party, as you do. I really like this yellow dress, but I really, really hated the brown leather corset with a bunch of sausages tied to it. What are your thoughts?
So I'm of two minds. I love the mustard dress on her. I think it's a great color on her, surprisingly.
Beautiful.
You know, yeah, like she really looks good in yellow. I think think she's established this too. It might work, at the same time doesn't work that it's just sausages, that she just had sausages and tied them to a thing to herself. And it works, but does it? You know what I mean? It's like, it's such a goofy idea that it does, but also, yeah, it's really just you had some sausages.
I wish she had sausage linked underneath the arm part of her sleeve, coming down like tassels almost, as opposed to just attaching it to a corset, because it was giving, I don't want to ruin this dress, and that's not the energy that I'm really looking for in this challenge.
I think that's exactly it, is that she should have incorporated the sausages more instead of just wore them on the garment that she already had.
It was given a little bit of an afterthought, which, we just gotta step it up. It's all stars. Especially when you're followed up by Kahana, who comes out as Miss Tired Ass Showgirl. And I know I said the other week that I need her to not do another showgirl look. I take it back. This was beautiful. She is one of the most beautiful queens we've ever seen, right?
She sure showed us, didn't she?
My gosh.
Yeah, we were like, oh, this is another showgirl look. She's really going back to the same well. She should experiment. Mm-hmm. But no, when you do your thing this well, it's like, oh, I get it now.
Mm-hmm. It was a different silhouette too, which I appreciated. So we're still getting showgirl, but a little bit different. We did get a little bit of variety, but again, I will eat my words. This color looked great on her. All of the jewels and the sparkle. She's just, oh my God, she's unreal looking, truly.
That candelabra hair that she had going on, she looked gorgeous. Oh my God. Tired what? If that's tired, I'm exhausted. Just come on.
And I am, so yeah. Speaking of tired though, we have Lala coming out as Miss Bootlegger, which is a funny concept, but girl, that's a white tank top and those are gold pants that you bought at Shein. What are we doing here? Come on.
If this were anyone but Lala, I would immediately be like, come on, but because it's Lala and because she did so well in the challenge, I was willing to forgive it a little bit because it is a funny story. Mm-hmm. I did love the multiple watches, the extensions on the bag and stuff like that. I did love the concept, and maybe she should have refined this a little bit more, but fine.
Up next, we've got Candy coming out as Miss Arrogant.
Okay.
Muppet dress.
All right. What? I'm so where's the star quality, Candy? Okay, Miss Arrogant, whatever, fine.
Yeah.
That's a non-idea. That's really just like, you thought like 10 seconds about it and then did it. This was an outfit you had already. And then you were like, oh, well, I'll be Miss Arrogant in it. And just, I was not feeling it. I love the hair. I love what you did.
Great.
Like, yeah, I love the construction of it, you know. There's an idea there.
Candy's just coming out here and playing herself again. Miss Arrogant, that's her. This is her dress. The dress wasn't even long enough. It didn't even like cover her like crotch. It was a whole mess. It wasn't even like a nice dress. Girl, what is this? Okay, I have so many thoughts about Alexis's Miss Man King. Was it a concept? Yes. Was it clever? Yes. Did I think it was a little like I like the hanky train, but the like urine staining, I just didn't like it. It was a little too gross for even me.
Yeah, I did literally just mention how gross out humor just immediately turns me off.
Yeah.
And while I will give her credit for having an idea, it's definitely following up Candy made her look better by comparison because, you know, she at least had an idea that she executed. Jockstrap, fine. Jockstrap gown, fine. Great idea.
Yeah.
But it's the extra details that I was like, hanky coat aside, I was just not, why the stain? I get it, but that was too much for me. This is where you decide to go wild, Alexis. This is where you decide to have fun and play around. Like, this is how you do it. Come on.
Jimbo comes out as Miss Tits McGee, and oh my gosh, she's got the breastplate back, and I love it. She's so funny. I love this. I was just happy to see her out kind of in her full aesthetic that we know Jimbo for, and I loved it. It was so fun.
Those things have their own area codes. Like, they were the largest ones she's worn this entire time, right? Like, it's just, or I was just...
Maybe the entrance look, but yeah,
yes,
they're huge.
They were huge. Like, if she was waiting to debut him at this time, heck yeah, Jimbo, let's go, you know. And the dress was gorgeous. I was loving that color, you know. It's not the best Jimbo look. You know, maybe I'm being harsher because Jimbo has provided some like very strong looks already.
Yeah.
But for this runway and especially everything else we've seen, it was great.
I agree. Not the best Jimbo look, but that's because Jimbo has a lot of good looks. So here we are. So when it comes to the tops and the bottoms of the night, we have Lala and Jimbo who are praised for their performance, but it's Lala who walks away the winner. Well, we kind of talked about this before, but she definitely deserved to win.
Outfit aside, I agree.
Yes. And then for the bottoms, we have Kahanna and Alexis, who, again, actually, no. I maybe would have put Candy and Alexis there. I don't know. Is that a hot take?
I think so, but I think Kahanna was the tinfoil hat on. I think Kahanna was the producer move, as in like she was already ready to go. You could see it in her face, you know, and you hear her in Untucked afterwards. She was clearly like, okay, she quit already, essentially in her mind. So it was her time, and thankfully Lala did she did win the lip sync against Georges, which I'm a little. That's the whole conspiracy thing, because Georges, come on, you're one of the best.
What was Georges doing?
Yes, I'm like, come on, like I was so excited when Georges was revealed as lip sync assassin, because we've seen so many from her that were so incredible. Yeah. And then we got that. Lala kind of wiped the floor with her with just personality. That aside, okay, Lala does pick Kahanna. Makes all the sense in the world. Kahanna was ready to go. Kahanna left with a smile on her face. Good for Kahanna, and she's winning the Fame Games. I think I'll say this straight out.
Oh, I agree. One hell of a season for her. Next week, we've got another design challenge. I'm excited. RIP to our queens who can't sew. They've had a couple opportunities to learn this season, and we'll see if they've picked up on it. So we will be talking all about that next week on Dragged. Tune in every week to hear us talk more smack on these queens. No, we love them.